We're nearing the end. So, already spent all the tokens and a lot of the money that I had. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do the bonds that I have. There's not a lot left. Just a handful. It'll probably be like a 15-20 minute video maybe. Maybe if even that. We'll see. But I'm gonna do it. And then I'm going to end that and go into the final level. So let's go ahead and get started. Irving, I'm so sorry you had to see that. To do that. I never judged anyone capable of that kind of cruelty. Your brother,
Sterling.
No, that was not my brother. ... Whatever power we contended with, it controlled his desecrated corpse like an empty vessel, but it was not him. I watched Sterling's soul depart from this world. That's not something I'll easily forget. No, I'm sure it isn't. You know what it's like, don't you? To have something so terrible burn so fiercely in the eye of your mind. Yes, it catches me off guard now and then, but I still see the souls from Akmenos' staff. I want to forget those sights, but every time I remember their ghastly faces, they seem to crystallize somehow. I don't know I'll ever be free of them. I don't know that I'll ever be free of them. We can try to forget Elias. We can try to fill our minds with better, more pleasant things, but in all likelihood, so long as we live to sleep, they will return to haunt our nightmares and dreams. But when we make, the choice is ours again. The choice of how to spend our days, where to direct our efforts and our eyes.
Still.
And right now, our eyes must be fixed on justice. Everything we have, anything less will all but ensure our defeat. No, when I enlisted on a whim, friend's whim, really, I never could have guessed it would come to this. That I'd be standing here, in this place now.
No kidding.
Who could have? Unimaginable. That's what makes it real, I suppose. And now Empyrean's had his go at conforming reality to his vision, to benefit no one but himself. It's time that came to an end.
Yes.
Yes, high time. Irving, you remember when we liberated Durvan, just before we launched our assault? You looked around at each of us and seemed to take us in, as if it might be our last time. Then you called us to arms. I remember it well.
I'm with you.
It was the first time that I felt I was fighting in a war I believed in, under the leadership of someone I could trust. And even now, after all that, the feeling hasn't faded in the slightest. Then let's hope it's strong enough to last you one more battle. It certainly is. To arms, Elias. To arms. Hey, adventure buddy. I made you something. Check it out. This is a really weird place to talk to an adventure buddy, but sure. Wow, a wreath. Sophia, this is really beautiful. Thanks. I tried to get a nice big rose for the center, you know, for your name, but I couldn't find any.
That's so cool!
Sweet of you. But really, this is lovely. You picked such colorful flowers.
Yep.
Yep, they're some of my favorites. Looks like you can find them all over Etland for the most part. These yellow ones. I think they're called Omarians? I can't read. My mom used to make tea out of them.
Huh?
Really? Well, do they taste as good as they smell? Better, I think. But maybe that's just because they remind me of home. Makes sense. Well, do you think you remember how to make it? Make what? The tea?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd love to try some.
Um...
Maybe. But I think I'd need more flowers than this. Sounds to me like it's time for another adventure.
You think so?
Alright. Next time we're in a good spot, we'll go. Woohoo! Hey, Sophia. I just wanted to say, I'm really glad we started doing this. It's been nice to get away from the group sometimes and just get out in nature for a bit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, totally. Butter gets a bit restless too if I don't take him for a while. Plus, it's safer with a friend, like you said, and more fun too. And more fun that way too.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. Yes, it's definitely way more fun. I'd be lying if I didn't say you've been absolutely on fire lately. You were felling enemies out there like a farmhand in a cane field. Well, I'm certainly seeing more combat these days than I have in a good while. I think I'm growing better accustomed to it.
You got that right.
I'll say. That's why you keep getting swarmed. Once you get a couple of shots off, it's clear to everyone in sight that you're a threat.
We stand as one.
Then I'm grateful to have faithful allies to beat them back. The pleasure's all mine. And I mean that, Alexa. I know we've had our differences, but when the blade starts swinging, you're an indispensable ally. I might even go so far as to say we make a good team, you and I. You might too. I know you have a love of battle, one I might not ever match, but I might be starting to understand a bit. A series of well-placed consecutive strikes gives me quite a rush. It's almost like taking a bow after a taking a bow after a well-choreographed dance. Sounds about right. I still remember the first time I heard steel on steel. A couple of adventurers were sparring in a field behind our homestead. Might actually be my earliest memory. It was like splashing cold water on your face, but in a sound. The ring was so fierce and crisp and clear, it awoke something in me.
Undeniably skilled.
Something potent and ferocious. Your words, not mine. Whatever it is, I'm glad our enemies have to contend with it, and I don't. That's right, you should be. Oh hey, Faust again. Why does it do that? Why do... Guess I need to send it in again. Hey Rose, you should see what fort... Holy... How did you make that? Make what? Box? Oh, the cricket cage? Yeah, I used to do a little woodworking back home.
Jeez.
No kidding. That little guy is living larger than me. Figured out if I was going to keep him, he should have a nice little home.
Huh?
You still taking pet applications? Not for people, Faust. Sorry. Rats. Probably not them either.
Anyway.
No, I mean, like... Never mind. Anyway, did you figure out if it sings? It does chirp. Every night, if it's dark and quiet enough. It sounds incredibly annoying.
Really?
I like it, actually. It reminds me of being at home in the forest. Especially when we're at Marrowhold. It's so creepily quiet in there. I hope your neighbors hate the quiet as much as you do. Actually, Ford's been complaining about the noise these last few nights. He thinks it's coming from a bug in his tent somewhere. Oh, that is perfect. You just let me know if you ever need any more of those, Rose. Be more than happy to supply. Alright, Faust. I sure will. Hey, what's that? Did you get a letter? Alexa? Alexa, are you alright? Go ahead, read it.
Huh?
Acquisition order. Swords in the amount of 250 at the command of His High Majesty King Varric. What is this, some sort of supply order? That was the last order my father ever fulfilled. You've been carrying this with you this whole time? It was the order that broke him, that turned the greatest blacksmith in High Ridge. that turned the greatest blacksmith High Ridge has ever known into a pathetic shrivel of a man. Those days are still my most vivid memories. I worked with him through countless sleepless nights as the fire faded behind his eyes. Eventually, there was nothing left but ash and dust. He'll never lift a hammer again, not as long as he lives. And that may not be very long at all. I'm so sorry, Alexa. Can't imagine what that must have been like. Watch that happen to someone you love and be helpless to stop it. Except I'm not helpless. That's what this letter helped me remember. There is a person who did this, a person who extinguished my father's flame, a person whose own ambitions can be trampled into dust.
No time to waste!
Yes, but I know what you're going to say. It's not going to make my father the man he was before. And no, it won't. Nothing
Come
will.
on!
But just because he can't lift a hammer doesn't mean I won't. And as long as I still can, I have every intention on bringing it down on anyone capable of this kind of evil. Hard. I was actually just going to say, you don't have to take that on all by yourself. That's why we're all here. Let's stamp out that evil before it has the chance to hurt a single soul more. You got your back, Alexa, and I know you've got mine. That's not just true for me, it's true for all of us. Dare I say, even Lincoln. You know, there was a time where I might not have believed that. Well, do you believe it now?
Who'da thunk?
Yes, I definitely do. Looks like everything. After finishing that off, all that's left is the final mission. See you then.